As far as I can go, rest assured the wind will lead me far from home. Let's sail this world, the water beneath me is so clean, is so neat, is so pristine, splashing over me. Let's sail this world, the water beneath me is so clean, is so neat, is so pristine, splashing over me.
All right, and we are live, I think.
What's up, everybody? Let us know if we're live, please. Let us know about our frame rates.
Yeah, we're live. We got it.
Okay, scroll up there. I just want to make sure your shot looks good. Is that at the top?
Oh, yeah, it's
Okay.
just,
Okay,
it's got a weird zoom
cool.
on the laptop here. Don't worry about it. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 8 of Irresponsibly Long with myself, Steven Cesaro, and the esteemed crypto CFA, Eric Johansson.
What's up, guys?
Got a big show for you guys today. Where's the camera? Oh, there's the camera. look at camera. Big show today. We're talking about memes again. Talked about it a little bit on the Alfalfa pod last night, but we tried to keep it a little more high level, a little more philosophical. We want to
dig in,
dive into the mud. I know Eric had some thoughts last night that he really wanted to get off of his chest, but didn't want to drive the episode off a ditch.
We can debate it. But I'm in for the memes. For you guys, for the culture.
All right. Well, we'll see where you're at on that. Also, update on our positions. We got some new plays for you guys. Lot to cover. So let's get right into the important stuff. Like the video on the stream, please, if you have not done so. Helps people to find us. We are new. We are in need of an audience. We want more of you guys in the chat hanging out with us every week, so that would be awesome. Really important, we are going to move this show off of the Alfalfa Pod YouTube feed. So we need you guys, if you want to keep getting the show, if you want to keep watching this live, you're going to go to youtube.com/@irresponsiblylongpod. And there should be a link in the description as well, unless I screwed that up, which is definitely possible.
No, I saw it in there. You did good.
All right, so link in the description for the new channel.
Yeah, I
please,
subscribed already. I was first.
Yeah, please subscribe. Let's get those subs up. Got to get that thing to 4 digits as quickly as possible. We're going to keep releasing this, I think, on the Alfalfa Pod Apple feed for now, but we're going to get our own feed set up for that as well. But we want to juice the numbers from the Alfalfa audience for a little bit longer. So what else I got here? Oh yeah. We got an ad read today.
Yeah.
Got
Give a shout to our sponsor.
Our friends over at ZBiotics. ZBiotics, for those of you who are familiar, or maybe those of you who are not familiar, this is a pre-alcohol probiotic drink, the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. I don't know about you guys. I'm drinking heavily lately. Not sure why that could be. Might be a little.
Well, you got the holidays, and you got market pumping.
Yeah, like the stress levels are very high. Got memes on the brain, so I'm no stranger to an evening glass of wine or two to calm that down. But those of you who know me know I like to try to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. with the New Yorkers and get trading. So I cannot be feeling bad in the morning if I want to do that, and that's why ZBiotics is awesome. I got a nice 12-pack at all times sitting in my cupboard. Helps make the day a little bit better when you have a couple the night before.
When you have a 12-pack the night before.
So if you guys want to try it out, zbiotics.com/alfalfa. You can get 15% off your first order. And I think you guys will really love it if you haven't tried it. All right. So on with the show. It's been been a heck of a week. The animal spirits are alive and well. Do you feel it?
I sure do, man. I sure do, and I'm a little nervous about those animal spirits because my portfolio is just enjoying this almost a little too much, and I'm wondering when, if ever, do you start to take profits? Because I haven't taken any profits on like any of these like options plays that we've mentioned.
Yeah. So for what are you in right now for people who haven't been keeping up with you for the last 2 or 3 months? Yeah, I know regular listeners know what we're in, but
yeah, so I think there were like some big themes here. The big themes were like crypto adjacent stocks. So that was like Coinbase, and then like the affiliated trade to that is Robinhood, and then we had Bitcoin miners. So that's like Mara and Riot, and then small cap miners like Cypher, and then that GLP-1 trade like Novo Nordisk, and associated play with that is Weight Watchers, and you know
it's all up.
everything's up in this market.
It's all up. Weight Watchers or WW. I don't want to call it WW.
No, let's call it Weight Watchers. I'm gonna pull up the chart.
WW is moving, and it's moving off the little rectangle we drew a couple weeks ago.
You really nailed that rectangle pretty good.
It's a good rectangle. It's a firm rectangle. It's a strong rectangle. Yeah, that box, at least for now, has propelled us higher as I thought it might. Of course, it is possible that we do one of these and make a lower high and go lower. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we went over a couple episodes ago, or maybe it was like in episode 3 or 4, the logic behind this trade. This was sort of like a longer term zone that we were taking along from, just sort of generational support on WW. So, yeah, I fortunately followed my rule of nibbling on this thing, put 30% of the position on immediately. Initially, it was looking a little sketch to me, but held on, and then we just ripped. So last few sessions, I mean, it's gone from $6.50 to $9.50 in a hurry. And although that's only $3, that is close to 50% of the price of the stock.
Yeah, particularly when you're in the options. You know, like if you're in short dated options and you get a move like that, your portfolio returns get real juicy.
I went with the leaps on this one. I think I'm in January 25, $12. So pretty conservative. You know, I kind of feel like I should have taken a more aggressive shorter term trade and played it with the leaps, because I don't know. I think when price is kind of like consolidating off of these really, really key levels, you sometimes get these super fast rips. And one of the hard things with options, you know, especially the short dated one, is you got to get the timing right.
Yeah.
But I did know there was like a high percentage like that the timing would be good on this, like that if it sent, it might send in a hurry off this level, or kind of lose it and be like, we got to get the hell out.
I mean, the rectangle alone was enough for me to get moving.
Keep it simple, man.
The rectangle's so strong. But I do have the leaps. I mean, that's the majority for me is in the leaps. I basically haven't bought any common stock of any of these, which is why I'm kind of nervous, because like you have to take profit at some point.
Yeah.
I haven't taken any.
Yeah. I mean, my targets on this they're just so much higher though. Like I
and
think
same with like all these things we mentioned, Coinbase and the Bitcoin miners. I think they have room to run, but like
this chart's got a lot of room.
This chart in particular, the Weight Watchers chart, has a lot of room. But
yeah, I would be pretty happy to just go to this other rectangle up here, you know, even making like a lower high on the very, very high time frame.
Yeah, what
that's
level
still a
is
great
that?
trade. That's like about $27 or so.
That
So
would be
still,
nice.
still a 3x from here. So maybe 2024 ? I don't know. So that one's doing well. Congrats to anybody who's been shadowing us on that one. Hood also pumping. We've been talking about this one. Not too much to say here. Kind of might be printing a little weekly swing fail on the high, which is not a big deal. You sometimes, very frequently don't hold these breakouts. So I would love an opportunity for like a pullback and to add more to this, but I haven't been chasing price. I literally bought my starter position and it was just never underwater, and I just kind of watched it run away from me.
Yeah, I think we'll get another chance on this. I imagine.
All right, but the big ones right now. I mean, we got Mara and Riot, the Bitcoin miners. Now Riot has run into a little bit of trouble, right? But that was to be expected. We've called out this little box here. Got supply from $17 to $19 or so. So that's going to be a tough level to move through. And you really saw that today. Riot up 1.8%. Mara was up 12% on the day. So if you pull up Mara, this is a much better looking chart.
And Mara up 4% in after hours.
Yeah, so Mara's pumping. So Mara's already taken that high. It's gone well past it. It's now kind of moving into a different sort of area of potential resistance here on the $25 mark. So I don't think I want to FOMO into Mara.
No, me neither.
Do you like? I don't know this because I just draw lines, but do you know like there is why from a fundamental perspective like why Mara is sort of outperforming Riot lately?
They have so much more Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They have the most Bitcoin by far, like 2 times more than the second biggest, and they create more Bitcoin than any other miner. They just have like so many exahashes or whatever that they're producing so much Bitcoin.
This is probably something you even said on the show, and I just didn't register. But that would be like a very useful tidbit for me to know, because that's kind of
that's why I said
crucial to
when
my
we brought it
thesis,
up.
yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's going to be rewarded. Is it like the one that produces the most Bitcoin, or the one that has the most Bitcoin on the balance sheet, or the one that produces Bitcoin in the most efficient manner, meaning like their break-even price is the lowest? And Riot has a much lower break-even price.
Mo Bitcoin.
It's always more Bitcoin. That's the answer.
I still think these things are really, really underappreciated for the cycle. I think one thing that's going to be different this cycle that has not existed for other cycles is the fee market for Bitcoin with ordinals. And we've got all the Chinese grandmas like buying BRC20 tokens. And those are going to probably be a big thing next year. That's like I don't know if I've talked about that yet on the show, but like I've added a whole bunch of BRC20s to my portfolio with the naive thought that it's a high beta Bitcoin.
This is so good. I like this because, the miners are earning both their Bitcoin rewards plus transaction fees. And the transaction fees have never been like a meaningful number until recently. It's been about like 10% of their revenues from transaction fees. And that is a massive development for the miners.
Yeah. People like to degen on chain, even the Bitcoiners. The BRC20s are kind of hilarious, and how I don't know, they seem really dumb to me. It's like almost like you buy them like NFTs and like buckets of, but there has been like a bridging process. Like some of these things are actually tradable on Ethereum as ERC20s, and there's like one of them is like a bridge. Is it Mubi?
Just can't believe that you're calling those questionable or dubious. When,
Mubi. I mean, look at whoa.
We're buying dog with hat, and you're calling this dubious.
Yeah.
Hold on. I went to the chart here. So
you get the chart. Yeah, I know. Mubi is one of these plays. I'm up very bigly on this thing. That's a joy. That's a joy. And then what else do we have here? I can't even. I mean, Ordi is like a big one. You can't buy this on Ethereum, but it is tradable on exchanges. And like part of the thesis for the BRC20s is that a lot of these are going to end up being like exchange listings next year, especially on the major exchanges. I mean, if you, God, Ordi is up so much. Look at this. I didn't even realize.
So you get this.
Damn.
Wait, you buy these on your Bybit account? Like, where do you get
I don't think this is even on Bybit. Where does Ordi trade? Oh, yeah. Oh, actually it does. Oh, I should own this. Yeah, Ordi is like the biggest one. I think it's over $1 billion market cap. It's the token for ordinals. So it's a cool way to get exposure to the ordinals thesis, but this is on everything. This is on Bybit, OKX, Binance.
Would you
Yeah,
call this a
name it.
meme coin? Because this is like something I could get behind. Like this idea, at least. It's not that memey, but it's like it just makes sense.
I
to
might
me.
be talking out of my ass on this one because, again, lines. But I think that you need the Ordi token to do some stuff. So I think there's some utility to it that is tied to the use of the protocol. I think. Could be a meme. Let me know in the chat if I am extremely wrong on that. But like Mubi, so something like Mubi, which I think is the bridge play. It's only available right now on like MEXC and BitGet. So these are tier
Never
like
even
zero
heard, never
trash
even heard of them.
exchange. Yeah, MEXC is not a place where you want to have a lot of money. So there's definitely a room for these things to grow. What is the other one? BSSB. Yeah, BSSB is another interesting. This is sort of like I think like the maker, the maker like of BRC20 tokens.
Would you call these fresh charts? Because this looks pretty fresh.
They're pretty fresh. They're pretty fresh. Yeah, they're fresh coins. I mean, most of these are just minted this year, so a lot of possibilities. I don't know. I think it's a really interesting thing to have in your portfolio in like a small amount. I forgot all the tickers for everything I own, but I know that the big ones are Ordi, BSSB, Mubi. There's a turtle one that's crushing for me. That one seems kind of like a meme, but
Wait, Calcium just said that Phantom recently added support for ordinals and BRC20s.
oh, very
the
cool.
Phantom Wallet.
Phantom Wallet.
Yeah.
Phantom Wallet is great. It's so much better than MetaMask. I'm astounded by how bad the MetaMask wallet is for those of you poor souls who are still using Ethereum. It is it's just terrible. I've been very impressed just with the general level of dev work of like the whole Solana ecosystem. I've been definitely playing around on there a lot more as of late. And stuff's really good. I thought stuff was really good I was on there last DeFi season, right? Playing on Radiant and all the Ponzi's, but they were all like FTX Ponzi, Alameda Ponzi. So like they were all kind of tainted in a way. Not all of them, but like the whole ecosystem was like,
I
it
don't
was a
know.
little bit dirty.
Like, I obviously played on the Solana blockchain last DeFi cycle, and I didn't find it to be like overwhelmingly better. It was fine. Like it wasn't like an amazing user experience.
Really? I think it's an amazing user experience.
Maybe in relative terms, relative to how bad just operating on chain on ETH is, but it's not like we could have a normie get on there. And
All right, so have you used this thing? Let me pull this up. This is Jupiter. Jupiter had like the airdrop of all airdrops, right? I think we talked about this a little bit. I think like $30 of farming got you many thousands of dollars of airdrop. I think it was worth over 10,000 at one point, actually. Fact check me on that.
Congrats, Tunsky.
Did Tunsky grab that?
I just imagine he did because he has a whole notebook full of airdrop
Oh,
farming.
he's the Farmore
Yeah.
notebook. Yeah, that'd be cool. But I've been using this a lot because I've been playing around with Solana meme coins, and the meme coin experience is so much better on Solana because when you're these people like playing like $50, $100 lotto tickets, and they're on Ethereum and they're eating like half of their
Yeah.
thing going in and out,
It's terrible.
and they're getting sandwiched by Jared.
Yeah.
And it's just like a disaster. But one of my favorite features about Jupiter, this is something that's always bothered me that we don't have, and I think this is something that's going to be coming with like the new Uniswap hooks, is like the DCA. Like you can DCA coins on Jupiter. It's really sick. So like when I want to get into positions, like I can just look at a chart and be like, oh, okay, I want to buy when it's in these levels over this period of time, and it just kind of
Wow.
automatically does it.
That's
and
like
it's really nice.
programmatic, and I'm imagining limit orders are easily accessible.
Yeah, it's got limit orders too.
That's a big unlock. That's awesome.
Yeah. So you got to tip your hat. You got to tip your hat. There's no reason this can't be built on Ethereum layer 2.
Well, you can't DCA on. On layer 2.
Layer 1, yeah. If you DCA like once a minute, like you do on this, like your whole stack's gone after an hour. But like I can literally DCA like by the minute on this thing, and you're fine because gas is it's non-existent basically. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I got some memes to bring up later, so maybe we'll backtrack to Solana. I did want to say that I fumbled the ball on last week's episode because I wanted to share a really dumb play I made, and then like the laptop died, the stream died, we had to reboot it, kind of like re-record it, and then stitch it together.
we
And
did
in,
it
and in that
non-live,
process, like
yeah.
I realized I just left everybody hanging, and I was like,
It was like I think the title of the episode was like the
no, I didn't put it in the title, fortunately, but I put it on like my social media and stuff. Of
Okay.
I am really dumb. I'm super dumb.
okay.
But what I wanted to share was
Can I
that
flip over? I want the big reveal.
I think we need the visual on these things. I bought a lot of Trump digital trading cards,
Yes.
and this to me seems like just the most obvious trade in the fucking universe. Like if you could tell imagine this, it's the year 2060, your grandkids are talking to you, you're telling them stories about the early Wild West days of NFTs on Ethereum. They're like, wow, grandpa, you had such vision. You knew that like people were going to trade JPEGs and all this stuff. And they'd be like, you must have a bunch of the Trump NFTs, right? And you could be like, no. And they'd be like, grandpa, like the first ever US president to launch an NFT collection. And these things are trading for like $100. And you didn't buy one, grandpa?
It's pretty
Be like,
funny you
no,
say
son.
It's funny you say it that way because I can actually like build the opposing narrative where it's like ETH is ripping. I'm assuming this is on like ETH layer one.
These are on Polygon.
Oh, it's on Polygon. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just assuming that like coins are up and everything, and you're like, well, I got a bunch of fucking photos of Donald Trump.
No, man. Like this is Americana right here. These are going to go down in the Smithsonian someday. And we're about to enter just like full Trump 24/7 phase in like about 3 months. I know. Get ready.
Yeah, that's true. What can we talk about the floor price? Where are these trading at?
So we're at 0.173 now. So I think I got in about 0.15. So modest gain. That's nothing in NFT land.
Yeah, not too late.
Nothing in NFT land. These things are beautiful. They're so bad that they're awesome.
What was that one? What was that one that was so bad? Pixelmon. Pixelmon was so
Yeah.
bad that it just went up to
Yeah.
like 4 ETH.
What was the name of the Pixelmon?
Kevin?
Kevin. Yeah. And then Kevin ended up, I think, like selling for a bunch of money at one point. I don't
Yeah.
know what he's trading for, but they went to zero, and then I feel like people were buying Kevin's
He
for like
came
4
back.
ETH. Like, came back. Yeah, this collection is so hilariously bad. Like they literally just bought clip art and like just put the face on it. Like they didn't even make custom art, which is just this beautiful.
Okay, keep scrolling because I want to
We
see.
gotta-
I want to see what kind of characteristics and traits these cards have. So,
Yeah, these are all the floors, you know. So, ooh, this one looks. What do we got here?
whoa, we got a Rushmore.
We got a there's a pixelated one.
Pixelated Rushmore.
Oh my god, it's Trump with his own face on Rushmore. That is
This looks like the steal of the
so
century, dude.
bad. Pixel face. Yeah, there's pixel face. I didn't even know that was a characteristic. That's cool. They're like kind of in touch with the kids. What is this?
Oh wow.
That's horrifying.
Okay, so
Anyway, like if these things don't 10x by the end of next year, I don't know what to say. Especially if like Trump is the sitting president, you know.
I think degen into this at your own risk. I don't know.
Everything we talk about on this show is stupid. Like, but like it is what it is. You sometimes just have to embrace the nonsense of the world. But yeah, you might end up with a sitting president with an NFT collection next year.
Yeah, I
What a
do.
time.
I do feel like these are going to be 1 ETH minimum.
What a time to be alive.
1 ETH floor is
They have to go to 1 ETH floor. Like I feel like 1 ETH floor is like table stakes.
yeah.
It's absolute table stakes. It is like a 40,000 collection, I think. So I think it's like 4 times the size of a normal one. But like if freaking Pudgy Penguins can go to 11 ETH, like I think this thing can go to 1. Anyway, copy trade me at your own peril there, but I like it. We like the Trump cards. Just the OG collection. I'm not buying like collection 7 or whatever he just launched. He just keeps like launching these things. Although I did see that like he said you could get dinner with him at Mar-a-Lago if you bought 48 cards, and a card's like $100.
No way.
Seems kind of kind of cheap.
That's so cheap.
I think that's what Nick was saying, and I looked it up, and it seemed to be correct.
Hold on. These are gonna move. Hold on. Like I have like an affiliated question to this. It's like when you're buying these, is it because of Trump, or do you actually have kind of faith in NFTs returning to former glory?
I think they will return to glory. I think a very tiny percentage of them will. Like if you look at Solana right now, like I think Solana just flipped ETH and NFT volume. But
like I remember that my wife, God bless her, she was a big JPEG enjoyer on Solana, and she's held through the bear market, and she's still down bad on whatever the hell she bought.
Yeah, I mean people got wrecked, but when NFT mania was happening, like I actually made a note to myself, and I said like, remember what it's like right now. Remember how much fun everybody's having. Remember how much everybody likes these things, because there's going to be a point in time where everybody looks back on it and goes like, wow, you fucking morons. That was so stupid. That was a terrible idea. But like, I saw something that touched people in a way that like meant something. And I saw something there, and I think that thing is going to come back. So I never ever wrote off NFTs as being dead forever, but like hell of a bubble for sure. Hell of a bubble.
We have some people in the chat, Nick and Edmund, who are playing along live, and they're shorting Sol right now, and they want to get a real time chart. Can we get a real time chart on Solana for them as they continue to lose money by the second?
I market bought so much Sol yesterday morning, so I'm so happy. Just enjoying my gains.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Rectum and Nick are
Yeah.
shorting into this.
No, they're not.
They're shorting right now in the chat.
No, they're not. They're full of shit.
Nick's down $250 since 2 seconds ago.
Okay, guys, you want an advanced trading lesson? Don't short when the chart looks like that. Big candles. Big candle, close above big candle, close above big candle. No short. There you go. Caveman advice for you. Yeah, this looks like the Bitcoin vertical accumulation chart from like the beginning of last cycle.
Damn.
I feel like it's like a very similar thing going on. Or the Bitcoin of this cycle, I guess. Same freaking thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Nick's
short 1,000, Sol at $96.
well, Nick hates money. Nick is short like here. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, Sol's going to like $10,000 by tomorrow, I think.
So's Coinbase.
Take that to the bank. Yeah, speaking of Coinbase, let's nice transition.
Can we? Because
keep me on topic. My God.
Okay, so
that's good. Before we get too crazy, let's go back to the stonks. Let's go back to the calls, because this thing is this thing's getting spicy. Let me just we don't need these anymore. Okay. Number go up. It'll go up a lot.
Every
Here's a little
morning
weekly
I
chart
log
for you.
in, the market's not even open, and every morning this thing's up 4% in pre-market trading.
Every morning I just like open my Interactive Brokers account and I'm like, yep, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's just like every day. And like the higher it goes up, it keeps printing the same percentage gain. So the money, people in the chat right now are like, yeah, this is how compound growth works, Steven.
It's compounding.
But you've been writing some calls, huh?
Okay, so let me talk about this a little bit. So let me set the context here. We called this collectively, like at $70, we were like on on air on Alfalfa and Irresponsibly Long. We have the receipts. We're saying like we're buying these options, and I don't think ever in my life.
$70, brother. I bought here.
Okay, but like we weren't talking about the leaps at 50. I mean, you were buying the common, but at 70 we were like YOLOing leaps, and I was just thinking to myself that never really in my history have I like nailed the exact asset with the exact timing, like with the size that I have. And I'm now getting nervous because I haven't taken any profit on this. And when I look at this chart that you just pulled up, all I see are up candles. These are like white candles, but
We got
up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be 8 white weeklies in a row. 8 green weeklies in a row for you non-colorblind folk.
Okay, so what I typically do, and granted, like I've been doing this for a long time. This strategy works generally. It doesn't work when a chart looks like this, where you have 8 weekly candles up in a row to this magnitude. But I usually write way out of the money calls at a level that I'm comfortable selling regardless. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to go here, but if it does, I'll be happy to take some profit at this level. So I initially wrote calls, I sold them at 150 strike. And when we were at like 130, I was like, holy shit, like I got to roll these out. Like I can't, like I no longer want to sell at 150. So what I mean by roll out is like you extend the maturity, and because you add that theta, then you can go further out on the strike price. So I think for the same price that my 150s were, I got 185 strikes for January.
So you sell the 185, you take the proceeds, you close out
Exactly.
the 150.
Exactly.
And
So
because those are farther out in time, the premium is a lot higher. So you end up with some.
it's a break even for me, but I just make the strike price higher. And
Gotcha.
So,
So you're selecting a price where it's just break even.
yeah.
Because it's a higher strike, so that's gonna make premium lower, all things being equal.
Yeah. So I rolled them out to January 185. And then literally today, when this thing, like it dropped down to like 160 and then like recovered to 169, I was like, it's going to fucking hit 185 next week probably. So I rolled out again and I'm at like 200, 220, 225, I'm all over the place. But like, I am also wondering like, does this just go up forever? Because in my experience, it does not.
No, it doesn't. I have like a strong suspicion that the ETF is announced tomorrow. I know that is like a overwhelmingly.
That's a pretty hot take,
Everybody's
dude.
saying January 8th. There's a few people saying tomorrow for sure. I'm not the only person on the internet. So if that's the case, like, yeah, I don't know. This does look like something just kind of front running news to an extent. I mean, it's going up in a hurry. So wouldn't shock me if we do that and then you get a yeah, it'll go to, if it's announced during trading hours, like it'll probably just insta go to 185, I think. But I think there's a good chance that is like a local top.
So hold on. This is my whole thesis right now. It's like I want to actually trade the local top and I want to time the local top. That sounds fucking stupid when I literally say it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a pullback is bound to happen. And when it does, a pullback's gonna feel pretty severe, I think. It's gonna go down to a level that if I can exit anything that I have long, and it's a lot, then I would gladly rebuy in on a dip. But like I have this feeling like a dip is near. Like I was kind of targeting that first week of January to like get ahead of the ETF announcement, but that's how I'm thinking about Mara, Riot, Coin, like all these is I'm just like trying to really front run the pullback.
Yeah, everybody is. I mean, it's just mind games at the moment. Everybody's like selling the news, and everybody knows people are going to sell the news, so then they're buying the news, and then people like, and then it's a freaking it's a freaking shit show. I still think the news itself will be like a local top. I think the announcement of the ETF itself, in my opinion, is like 100% priced in as far as like the probability of it. Like it's a done deal. Everybody knows it. Like I've been saying it's a done deal forever because, you know, I've been looking at people who are a lot smarter than me who've been believing for a very long time that it's like a done deal. It's just like always been a done deal, right? What isn't a done deal, what isn't priced in is the flows. And I think the market needs to see the first couple of weeks of flows and digest that, and that could do something else to price. But if you get like an announcement tomorrow and then there's like weeks before this thing actually goes live, it could be like an opening there for some volatility.
Yeah,
for sure.
I have heard that take. I think that it's going to go live pretty soon after it's announced. Like I'm guessing 7 days.
A lot can happen in 7 days.
I think so.
Yeah, a lot can happen in 7 days.
And man, I haven't taken any profits. That's the main point I want to say. Because like, here's an interesting tidbit. Like, everyone says not financial advice when they're like talking about anything. They say not financial advice.
I don't think we say it enough, but
yeah, we should say it more.
Definitely
and I
not,
think the
yeah.
reason why, like, I just want to stress this. The reason why this is not financial advice is because my situation is different than yours and different than anybody else in the chat or whatever. It's like your path, your level of wealth, everything matters, you know, to your situation. So like this can't be financial advice, but like for me, I've made a lot of money on this and I just want to realize some.
Nothing wrong with paying the trader. Nothing wrong at all. Like I'm considering it on my Riot calls just because they expire in March, which is not right around the corner, but it's kind of getting there, right?
Like if Bitcoin has like a 20% pullback, which is pretty natural in even a bull cycle, right? If Bitcoin has a 20% pullback, these miners are, and particularly the March calls, are going to get fucking smacked.
Yeah. Like what I'm probably going to do is just roll like a huge chunk of my March calls into like leaps. And
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go from like March Riot to like Mara leaps. I think.
January 2026, as far out as you can go.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I might look at how some of the stuff is priced for. Like, I am still of the mindset that there's going to be like a very insane bull run next year in like all risk assets. So you could make a pretty compelling case for buying nearer dated stuff because like it might not really be pricing in that kind of run.
Yeah. So when you're doing these options trades, you have for leaps, the maturities get pretty sparse. So you get December of 2025 or January 2026. You have like two choices when you want to go sort of long dated. And I think you're right. The 2025's December probably sound pretty good.
Yeah. As far as Coinbase goes, like this is a pretty good area to take profits. I'm not saying to close the trade, but this whole region from 150 to 206 or so is like that's some serious supply there.
So I literally thought this, and look at this fucking weekly candle that it just put in. It's like shoving right up my ass.
Well, like if I'm going to write the options, I'm going to write the strike like above the zone, because you can get a candle that like wicks up to like 194 or something, and then ultimately it's like this kind of candle with like a huge wick and a really narrow body, which is a very common like topping pattern, or at least local topping pattern. And then you're sort of right, but like the wick hit your strike and you got exercised, and I'd rather place these things like outside of these levels, so like above like these highs, above these zones.
Yeah, and if you can like time it perfectly, you would actually sell the call like during that wick? Like you would like enter that.
Like I would sell calls. Like if I was at my desk when the ETF was announced, I would sell calls.
Yeah.
Or if I saw some sort of sign of weakness on like a daily or like a 4-hour chart, like that, some sign that price is struggling in that supply zone. But like there's no sign of that right now. It's just a very strong uptrend with just it breaks a high, it pulls back, consolidates, breaks a high, pulls back, breaks a high. Like there's just very little weakness, and the moves they're still strong. Like I don't see like weaker moves necessarily, weaker highs. If you pull up like an RSI, it probably still looks okay. Yeah, we got a little bit of a. I stand corrected. Yeah, you get some divs.
You call it a divergence.
Get some bear divs on the R. Yeah, you're making lower highs on the RSI while you're making higher highs on the daily. I mean, this is a pretty good setup, I think, for writing calls. Like you have price trending into a key area of supply. You've got like the relative weakness in the RSI. It's not usual that price kind of is weak coming into these zones, especially on the first tap, and then suddenly in the middle of the zone picks up a bunch of strength and blasts through it. Like very often you'll see it like cool off and pull back. And if you're writing options, like that could be the whole, duration that you write, and then you just collect that. So yeah, I'm probably going to write, I'm looking to write something around like, 200, 210 or something. As a hedge for my position. I don't want to sell anything, but we're definitely getting to the point where I'm considering that. And yeah, I kind of like the setup here. So yeah, I could totally see an announcement news candle. Like those are very frequently like the last push, kind of trap people.
Can we talk about that? The announcement news candle, because I'm also thinking about that. So like maybe in perps, like setting some limit orders to sell Bitcoin at like a stupid number that's outside of our.
We have an interesting setup on Bitcoin. Like I actually, this is a doodle I forgot I had drawn a while ago. You basically got this kind of megaphone pattern Bitcoin is trading in, and then I have a couple of like high time frame like range projections, and like -4, -5 is like a pretty prime target for like these expansions. So between the -4, -5 of this consolidation, like basically the consolidation at the bottom, you've got the 48K high, and then similarly from the recent one, you've got 50K. So there's like overlap between these two projections. So I don't know. Like I think I'm probably going to honestly set like a bunch of laddered cells like up here, like above 48K, 48K to like 52K or something like that.
I love this, by the way. I love this trade, like just setting sell limit orders at like 52K, and maybe something hits and you just enter a short position at the fucking Pico top.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to do what I did over the summer and like not keep enough collateral in your account because I got a little too cute and the grayscale pump like liquidated my entire account, and then the trade ended up being correct, which is really brutal. It's really brutal when you make these kind of like knife catch. This is like a reverse knife catch, I guess. But like it wicks so high that it actually like liquidates your whole freaking account, and then it immediately dumps. Like there's no greater like I'm a fucking moron than when that happens.
Okay, so you were right. You just oversized it.
Didn't risk manage properly. But like I like have like you'd have to get a wick up to like 100K for it to like liquidate my account or something, right? So that's not going to happen. And like I have the spot, I have the Bitcoin, everything. It's not like naked. It's just sort of like a hedge on my portfolio. So it'd be pretty interesting, I think, to take like 20 to 30% of my portfolio and just ladder some cells up there in anticipation. Like I'll probably do this tonight or tomorrow. And then you hope you get one of these news spikes and then it just immediately comes back down. But it wouldn't shock me if we just did something like that and then just continued higher.
That's exactly what I'm picturing happening, by the way. I'm trying to like scalp it and re-enter.
It's like just enough of a dip to make people think that the sell the news is happening, but it actually doesn't, and it gets bought up very quickly. And then a lot of people who tried to sell the news actually they don't buy back in, and then they get kind of trapped on the sidelines, and then price rips up without them, and then they become the people who like panic buy and send us over to all-time highs. So I think something like that is.
But just to be
It's pretty
clear,
likely.
it makes way more sense on like March expiration options for the miners. Like, I'm looking to get out of those probably like early January, just to make sure that I'm front running this.
Yeah, and I think it's probably something I'll do. I don't know. I'll probably do it tomorrow, just in case. Take some off, roll some. I'll probably take like 20 or 30% of the profits on that position, and I'll probably roll like a good chunk of the rest of it, and then I'll leave some is what I'll probably do. But it's a hell of a position right now because it's been in the money, and just every single day, price goes up like 1 or 2%. Even just a day like today, where it only went up 1 or 2%, still like printing a lot. And we get like these like 5% candles, and you're just like getting to be like almost deep in the money, and you still got 3 months to go to your strike. It's crazy. It's a beautiful thing. Gamma.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to pivot off this, but I was kind of thinking that everything you're saying aligns with how I think. And for those reasons, I don't want to buy meme coins because I feel like I can get convexity and like juiced returns buying like higher probability things using options. And why would I get into something that has probably negative EV or just like a very low probability of working when like I have high probability of working and you can juice the returns?
It's a valid question. I mean, there's a couple of reasons. Like, one, I think meme coin markets themselves are kind of inefficient in a way that something like the Bitcoin market isn't. Another reason is that like I have on-chain money and I have off-chain money. Like, my on-chain money doesn't really have access to like all these like call options, and like definitely can't buy call options in stocks with my on-chain money,
Right.
And I can't even buy options in crypto with my on-chain money. You could say, well, why don't you just lever up Bitcoin? And that is something I think about a lot. I sometimes do just trade Bitcoin and Ethereum and just add leverage because the markets are deeper, they're more liquid. You can get in and out of positions without slippage. You can like manage risk better. But the freaking convexity on these things is like insane. Like you can, you could do like 2x's in a matter of like a couple hours with some of this stuff. And yeah, like, I mean, I am still trading other things, but like I have been on the meme wagon for the last couple of weeks. I don't know how sustainable it is, but kind of thought we would get to a period where Bitcoin runs up to near the ETF levels. It sort of stalls, it consolidates. That type of environment is typically very, 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 very good for alts. And you've seen memes rip. You've seen Solana, which is sort of like the king of the altcoin market, just absolutely on a tear as Bitcoin has gone like kind of sideways. Bitcoin's basically been in this sort of sideways range now for 2 weeks, which seems like an eternity. And then meanwhile, over that 2 week period, you've got Solana, which is just it's done this. Like, so while Bitcoin is range, Solana has ripped up 72%, roughly, give or take.
Okay, so I know you are talking about this Bitcoin to alts rotation. Win ETH.
I mean, I think ETH Q1, I think ETH is like it went from consensus to completely out of consensus very, very quickly. I like to take out of consensus trades, especially when the chart sort of matches. I've been talking about the same stuff on the ETH BTC chart for a long time, right? I think a lot of people are looking at this chart and they're being like, oh, that's a downtrend. It looks like it's going to break down. You know, what I said was you had a kind of manipulation dump. You had a market structure shift. This is like the merge. And then this has just sort of been like a retrace. And I've been expecting something in this to be a bottom. And these types of bottoms often look very, very ugly. Like the ETH chart right now, the ETH BTC chart reminds me very much of the Bitcoin bottom chart from 2021 summer. God, I need like a clean. How about the index? God, so many doodles. Here, let's clean the chart up. Like this area here, it looks pretty familiar to me. Like this is a summer 2021 Bitcoin. Like right around here where this thing was just curving down and nuking. Everybody's like, it's so fucking over. We're going to, and then it just ripped, right? You build up all of this trend line liquidity, all of these highs on the way down that never get taken, right? And then when price finally reverses, it just absolutely wrecks people because all of these people have been having like a free lunch on their trade for so long. No liquidity's been taken. And then it's just like, it's like a forest that just has all of this dry brush sitting there. I mean, look at all of these highs on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. It's just like,
Let's take that liquidity, please.
none of these have been taken. Like none of them. Nothing on this chart. Like shorters have basically never been tested. All of these, this whole trend line on the way down. So what I suspect happens.
By the way, this is inverse David Hoffman, right? Didn't David Hoffman take the opposite trade?
I still have a chart where poor David was like taunting me in the Discord. I think it was literally right here. I still have it time stamped. And like I was an ETH bear at this time.
Yeah.
On the ratio. Didn't reflect too much in my positioning because I was very like still like long-term minded at the time and didn't want to go in and out of Bitcoin. It was just like a believer in ETH and building an ETH position. But I am not an ETH bear now. Like, I think this is like the worst time to be an ETH bear. This is like the least reward and the most risk to be an ETH bear. So whether or not like we actually run this low from pre-merge and dip into the fours, I don't know. But I think at some point you have the fake out and then you reclaim and then you send. Like this is a very common pattern. And look, if I'm wrong, if January comes and this thing just fucking goes like that, then it is what it is, and I'm out.
So hold on, you just said that you'd be out of ETH if like maybe like the third week of January comes and ETH doesn't respond. You're calling that thesis invalidated.
I don't know if I want to put it like exactly third week of January, but like, yeah, early Q1, if the chart breaks down and it doesn't manipulate, like it's like a clean breakdown, then it looks horrible. And then you have to like question the thesis, like at least the thesis for this cycle, at least for the next year. Like I care about the next year, maybe the next 2 years.
Yeah. So I'm like, I kind of laugh at it a little bit because like we're thinking about it in such short-term time horizons, right? Like I know I have full conviction in ETH, so I don't get any FOMO on these like meme coins or anything because like I feel very comfortable with ETH, even though it's like not doing anything. I'm so comfortable, and I know it's gonna moon. I know it's gonna work, and I'm fine.
I don't know that. I have a strong suspicion that that's the case, but I think having a crypto portfolio right now that at a minimum doesn't just have like a market cap weighting of like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana is like unnecessarily risky. Like,
'Cause
I think
you're-
you're gaining very little.
Right. You're short Solana even without trying to be.
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense to me. Now, I'm overweight ETH relative to Bitcoin in my portfolio still. I have like basically like I have like a neutral view on Solana in my portfolio. Like my portfolio right now is basically market cap weighted ETH and Solana. But if we go through Q1 and like I don't see what I want to see out of ETH, I will overweight that Solana for sure. Or maybe look to one thing that's doing well right now, like the whole ETH ecosystem isn't doing badly right now. Like look at the OP ETH chart. Like
Let's look at OP.
so OP ETH chart looks amazing.
Poor Arbitrum investors.
Yeah. I actually talked about this spot here in Magic Lines a couple weeks back as like a really potentially great point to kind of flip some OP and ETH. And OP looks a lot better than Arbitrum, by the way. Like the Arbitrum ETH chart is just, now you could argue that this is just going to catch up trade. It's the
Right.
same chart.
Right.
But like this is kind of broken out. But I don't know, the market definitely seems to like OP more. OP's been on a tear. Like even though, Ethereum's doing nothing, OP this month is up like 60%. Like those are, similar to Solana numbers. So if you've been doing the high beta ETH play, you're actually doing okay. I'm a little too underweight L2s, I think. I have some exposure to them, but like I never really did a good job of rotating, especially into optimism.
Same, actually. As I sit and think about it, I'm similar. Even though I had like conviction on optimism, I just never really like loaded up the way that I sort of felt like I should have. And now I don't know if this was like something that was on the agenda or if it's something you're interested in talking about, but like Dinosaur DeFi was kind of an interesting trade for a bit. Is that still interesting to you? Because synthetics, I like. I think Maker token has had a pretty good run. I mean, Chainlink has had a good run up until it's sort of like stagnated now.
It did like one pump and then
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh fuck. I don't know how I feel about Dinosaur DeFi. One of the reasons like why I have been like sort of questioning my ETH trade myself is because last cycle I didn't own any Bitcoin, or I owned Bitcoin at the beginning of the cycle, but then I sold it because I just sort of realized like, wait, I'm trading, I'm not investing, I'm mostly trading. And Bitcoin is cool if you want to go into a coma for 30 years and not worry about anything, right? But the reality is, like, when the cycle's on, you want to own alts, and when the cycle's off, you want to own cash. And like that's easier said than done. But like when it's on, and like why bother with the like? Obviously, there's reasons to bother with Bitcoin. You can lever it, you can do all this stuff. Like
I get your point. It's like when you're gonna play in the sandbox, go with the fastest horse, and then when it's not time to play. Playtime's over, go back to cash. And don't deal with any of it.
So you can make a similar argument to Ethereum now that I made against Bitcoin, right? Like I don't know if it's as good of an argument. I think Ethereum is different in a lot of substantial ways than Bitcoin is. And we don't have to go down that road right now. But it's a question I've been asking. Like if the cycle is on, like in the cycle, like if you knew that it was 100% going to be a bull market for the next 2 years, do you really think ETH is going to outperform optimism? I mean, maybe but like for optimism like 2 weeks ago, do you really think that was going to happen? Do you really think ETH is going to outperform Solana? Do you think it's like almost certainly not, right? If you have the benefit of this magic looking glass.
Okay, so I agree with that as a framework. I would just throw this in the mix because I didn't mention it when we were talking about meme coins versus like call options on miners or something. But I think this point is relevant. Like when you have something that is like a slower horse, like let's just use Bitcoin for example, a slower horse but higher probability, like you can size up way harder on something like that and feel comfortable versus like putting your whole portfolio into some shit coin that like might be a faster horse, but like you're gonna have to experience way more vol, and that might become problematic.
Yeah, I would argue though that like if you look at this year with the benefit of hindsight, there's no amount of leverage you could have put on an ETH position where it would have been like just as cool as like having Solana.
No, I agree with that. I mean, obviously, in hindsight, you can play that out, but I'm more talking about the emotional aspect. Like, I like going in on something that I have high conviction on and like swinging hard. Like, that's the difference. Like, when you like sprinkle dust on like this meme or this meme or this meme, like I don't do that because like I want a high conviction thing that I can like actually swing at, like with like a two-handed give it something real.
I've just been in this space too long to have conviction. Like, I think if you do this enough and you just realize that like everything, like literally everything fails, except like 5 things out of like 10 or 20 or 30. I don't even know. Like everything fails. Every time you go through a cycle, this was my 4th cycle now. Every cycle you think something, and at the end of the cycle, you're like, wow, that was dumb. Like it's almost never goes the way, exactly the way that you think it is. And like, I feel like if you are just like, this is it, I have conviction, it's too hard in crypto. It's too early. There's too many unknown variables, especially if you're talking about conviction over the course of multiple years. Like I have conviction over like months or 3 months or something for sure. But like I don't have like insane conviction that like ETH is going to be the winner in like 10 years. Like I have fairly good conviction on it. Like I think that will be the case, but I'm not like betting my whole portfolio on that. No way.
Ah, fuck. I basically did on coin. Coin in particular.
Coin was an easy trade for me because coin was a conviction play on crypto. Like as long as crypto didn't die, like coin was going to make it and it was going to do very, very well.
Okay, so that's my that's a good point to make. So like I look at the entire investable universe and my dollars get deployed wherever the best risk reward goes. It's not like I have crypto plays like on chain only, and then no, I'm like trying to just allocate to the best bets I can make, and coin was one where I'm like, I'm gonna swing fucking hard, and that feels better to me with leverage, with options, maxing out margin, and that feels better to me than like just sprinkling on meme after meme after meme.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like super like okay, so I'm not super sprinkling meme. Like I'm sprinkling some memes to the extent where like I want like kill myself insurance basically. But that mostly applies to like the top, 5 or so percent, or the top 2% of these things that pop up. Like you can't buy every meme coin. There's hundreds of them. There's thousands of them. That's too much. So there's a little bit of a distinction between like literally buying everything versus like doing some due diligence, doing some thinking, and being like, okay, maybe there's something here. I need to hedge against this, whatever it is. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and like it seems like now, and particularly like the last couple weeks, have been a good time to do either of them. I mean, owning coin, good. Playing meme, good. Bonk, whatever. Yeah,
and like the best memes there haven't been on Ethereum. They've been on like some of them haven't even been on Solana. Like meme coin's been going crazy on like Injective and Say and these like new ecosystems.
You want to talk about some of the latest memes that you like? I mean,
yeah, I mean, I'm not playing on Say and Injective. I should be. I honestly just have overload because I'm still like day trading. I'm still swing trading. Like I have a couple friends who just meme trade all day. And if all you do is just chase memes around, I think you can do it. They still look like they're going to die, but you can make it happen. But like, I can't do that. Like I can't do that. And some of these things are honestly they're too small for me. Like I don't care about like throwing $500 in like an Injective meme. Like, I'd rather just do kind of what your thought process is and like find like an alt trade I have good conviction in and like size up on it. Like I did that this week with Bonk.
nice. Okay, let's talk about Bonk. Okay, so
Yeah, let me call up Bonk.
call up Bonk. And
So Bonk is something God, like well I screwed up Bonk because I initially wanted to get in here. I can't believe this is just like my birthday. So I didn't buy because literally it happened on my birthday.
that feels like it was a lifetime ago, by the way.
This chart, it looks like it happened like 10 years ago, but that was just like, this is just last week.
Yeah.
Right. So this is one of those things where 4 years ago in crypto, I would have been like, this is stupid. I'm going to buy like Maker and coins with cash flow. And like, I don't believe any of that stuff anymore. Like I kind of see the space for what it is, and I embrace it and all of its like special needs education, right?
Nice.
And I think I talked about why memes make sense to me on the Alfalfa pod last night. I think like it's an attention economy. I think you are trading attention in some sort of sense. I think attention is more important than product a lot of the time. So like, and that you can get attention first and do product after. Like, all these things make complete sense to me. I don't think these things are all destined to go to zero. And I do think that you need to have memes in your investment portfolio. Like if you're truly trying to kind of capture, like a high, if you're not doing the equivalent of just buying bonds.
I think they're like, okay, let's stop there for a second because I think you make a very valid point. But you say like investment portfolio, I would like call it a trading portfolio because any of these memes are like, they have a limited runway while they have the attention. And then there's something new that comes out that gets the attention. So I think like I wouldn't be buying Bonk's girlfriend or something thinking like, oh, this is going to be the attention grabber of a lifetime.
Well, Bonk's girlfriend is different from Bonk, right? Like memes do reach escape velocity. Like Doge is never going away. And I think every single ecosystem is going to have its meme. And I don't think those memes are going to go away. Like, yes, they will go up and down and they will go down a lot. This is just the nature of these things. But I sort of disagree that they're not investments. Like they're just as much of an investment as buying like most any other coin in crypto that's not something like a Maker that like literally has like a cash flow attached to it,
I could argue Steel Manu and just say like Bitcoin is a meme.
I agree that Bitcoin is a meme.
And it's
I
just
don't
a good
think
meme,
Bonk
yeah.
is that much different than Bitcoin, to be quite frank. Like if you get really down to brass tacks, you've got this sort of social layer that really believes in like a particular ethos. The Bonk ethos might be stupider to some people than the Bitcoin ethos, and whatever. I'm not here to make that judgment, but like holding a Bitcoin does not deliver. You're not entitled to any cash flows for anything. You're just basically betting on more people getting into this idea. The more people buy into the idea, the more people buy the coin. That's like literally how Bitcoin works. The more people buy into the idea of Bitcoin, the more people buy the coin. So if you think a lot of people are going to buy into the and why wouldn't this take place in crypto? Like we've already seen in the TradFi world, right? We have this thing where the younger generations come along and they go, "Dad, I don't want to buy your bags. Grandpa, I don't want to buy your bags. I'm going to go your own way." crypto is just fast playing this, right? Like it fast plays everything else. Like we've gone through like 200 years of financial history and like the last like 4 years in crypto.
Every cycle is like a generation. You're like a great grandfather now.
Yeah, like the Ethereans came along and like they were like, we don't want to buy your boomer Bitcoin bags. It doesn't do anything. It's a rock. And then like the Solana people came along and they're like, we don't want to buy your boomer Ethereum bags. It's like slow and expensive and it's not cool. And then like when like a bunch of other people came along, they're like, wait, why am I going to buy your Ethereum? You're up like 10,000x on it from the ICO. Like I could buy this Shiba coin for like fractions of a penny, and if it goes to $1, I'll be a trillionaire. And to people like, I don't want to play your game, I want to play my game. And then people try to compete to make the game that all the kind of kids want to play. And in this case, the market created meme coins. That's the game everybody wants to play. And so now the kids are playing that game, and it's hard to argue against that as a valid game when you take a step back and you realize that 99.9% of the entire crypto ecosystem is thinly veiled meme coins that don't do anything.
Okay, that's a good way to wrap that. Let's talk about Bonk's chart for a second.
Okay.
What made you want to buy this one in particular?
So I want to buy Bonk because it's high beta Sol.
Yep.
And like I didn't get as much of the first Sol run as I wanted to because I was scalping it in and out, and I bought it at like $11 and $17 and $24, but like never really held it. And now I want to kind of get in on the ecosystem in a more substantial way, and I've been looking for ways to get entry. And buying like really high beta stuff is nice because if you time it right, with like a smaller chunk of your portfolio, you can get like outsized gains relative to the sort of like base asset, which in this case is the Sol token.
Well, let's talk about this idea that's high beta Sol, because you showed the Sol chart a second ago and it never did this dip that the Bonk chart is showing right now.
I mean, it also never did this candle.
Kind of.
Sir, this chart went up. What is this? This is like this chart went up almost 300% in 2 days.
Okay, didn't go in 2 days, but it is well up over 300%.
No, this is December 13th, December 15th. There's literally 2 days there.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, like it goes up a lot. It goes up bigly. It goes down bigly. It's gone up a lot more than it's gone down, right? There's a few, but like I take like a more analytical approach to buying these things. I like to think I'm trying to find just the right combination of analysis and like 40 IQ, because I think you need both of these things to be successful in crypto. There's a couple things that I liked on the Bonk chart. So first of all, if you zoom way out,
What is that one candle?
this is one candle, Eric. This is the yearly candle. This is about as zoomed out as it gets right
I've
there.
never seen anybody pull up a chart like this.
But I'm doing this for a reason. This is the yearly candle. This is the yearly mid-range. So let's back into something that's a little more reasonable, like the weekly chart. Highs, lows, mid-ranges, right? These are really critical levels when you're trading. All of price is sort of range. Everything can be like one candle. Like all of the ups and downs and everything, if you zoom far enough out, it's a candle. And that candle has an open, it has a close, it has a high, it has a low, it has a mid-range. And these things are important points of interaction. Sound good so far?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So what I noticed was,
Can you point out where the 50% level,
maybe
the
I should
mid-range?
draw this in a thicker line.
Yeah, can you tell me where the mid-range is on this chart? Because
Yeah, so Bonk yearly mid-range, 0.175, 0.0175
Okay.
or so, roughly speaking. And first of all, look at the weekly candle.
it touched it magically.
Probably random.
Yeah.
Probably random. Also, keep in mind this mid-range might be off by like a few ticks because I sort of winged it. But we basically bottomed in the mid-range, right? So you zoom way out, and then you zoom in a little bit, like maybe like a daily chart. You know, we were looking at it, obviously, when I got in. It was just sort of down. But like, there's a few other things I liked here. So what did we do from the top, the Coinbase listing? Well, we
Was
had
was the top that Coinbase listing?
yes,
Okay.
as it so often is.
Yeah, that's a pretty common chart pattern.
It's another thing I like to use. Like to use OTEs, optimal trade entries. I've got like a mid range. I've got the 0.618 and the 0.79, right? And there's also the 0.5 on there. But the 0.618 to the 0.79 fib levels. And I like these because it's like, it's kind of easy for anybody to do, right? Like this isn't that hard. Like you see something go up a lot, it's coming down. You're like, I want to get in. Where do I get in? Well, it turns out the 0.618 level is pretty good. Like somewhere in that, call it like the golden pocket, right? So that's another thing I saw. I had yearly mid-range, this thick line, right in the golden pocket there, like right in that retrace after this big thing. And then the other thing is like, look at the nature of this retrace. See how gentle it is? See these candles, they just kind of float down.
Very gradual.
They just gradually float down. You're not seeing these big gaps, like huge gaps. Like when you see price sort of reject and then there's a big thrust down, that's like a bad sign. And oftentimes when you buy and price retraces back up into that gap, it comes back down against you. It can be like a sign that that move is over and you might be shifting into like a more bearish pattern where like the higher lows don't hold anymore, and then we start making like lower lows and that sort of thing. So that was another thing that was like really nice looking at this chart. Even nothing on the 12-hour. 4-hour, you start to get some gaps, right? And then you can actually see like price did react that way. You see price kind of test that gap area, hard rejection. This wick again into that same area, hard rejection, right? So you can kind of see in the lower time frame how price reacts to these gaps, which is why like when you see them on like the higher time frame, it's a big deal. Like you see huge gaps on the daily, on the weekly, yeah, that chart might be done. But like if it's on the hourly, it's lower time frame. The higher time frame move will take precedence. And if you zoom out on the higher time frame of this chart, it's a pretty bullish chart. So I ended up like looking for entries. Just like I kind of just bought a bunch. Like as soon as I saw us bounce off of that mid range, like I kind of went into like a 15-minute chart, which is like a one I like to sort of operate on. God, I got so much stuff on here. This move here, and sorry for people who aren't watching this, but this is something I really like to see. So price is kind of, price kind of bottoms here initially.
Yeah.
At 0.188, right? You've got consolidation.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Consolidation.
Manipulation leg.
Consolidation. And then, yeah, look, what do we have here? We have a sharp move down into a key level, the mid-range. And what do we do off that level? We massively V-reverse. This, to me, is like a sign that, like, there are large players in there who are accumulating and, like, now have, like, built positions, right? And then what you see there with that move is also like that's a market structure shift, because you took this consolidation that broke that low and then you just rip through it, right? And you can kind of see if you kind of zoom out on this chart, right? And stop looking at all like the wiggles and just kind of think about this as a you've obviously got this here, and then like you have a shift right here, and now you're in a bullish pattern. This is like a bullish flip right here.
Yep.
In my opinion, once you take this high, you've shifted from like lower time frame bearish structure to lower time frame bullish structure, and now the mindset is like, okay, when we get these retracements on these legs, you don't want to buy these rips up here. Don't be the guy who FOMOs in on this candle, FOMOs in on this candle. You want to wait for price to come back down into these zones that gave you the pump, You build the position there. You think you're on the bullish side of that trade now. And now, I'm expecting to ride this thing higher. Like I think I'm targeting I think like when you get these wicks, like we have this really nasty wick on the daily. So typically price like rejects hard off these things initially, but then kind of go higher. So I'm planning on taking some profits in these wicks, like for most of the position, and then like looking to add back again, and then take this up. And I do think this goes higher, but you know, if it doesn't, I will have TP'd pretty heavily and still done pretty good on it. So
Awesome.
we're not in the clear yet, but I think it looks good.
Man, I really like those drawings you just made. Those were awesome. And I don't know if this is gonna make you feel better, worse, or indifferent, but my wife actually came to me today, 6 hours ago, and was like, "I'm buying Bonk," and I had previously had her doing pretty well, like buying a Coinbase common in her like Roth IRA. Everything's going good. And now if she sees this video, it's like all my work is undone.
I think there's a good chance that we have the holiday season thing. Everybody comes home, they talk about Bonk, everybody goes out, buys Bonk, and then that sort of marks like a local top because you get that final surge of like temporary retail demand. And then there's nothing after that, and then it kind of rugs you. But I think even if that happens, like this is like early indication to me, Bonk to me is like product market fit. Like we're early in the cycle. Like I'm not at the point now where I'm like, oh God, Elon's on SNL, I'm selling everything and walking away because somebody asked me about Bonk. It's too early. To me, like this is just like seeds of something happening. Like I think this is going to be like the most meme coin heavy I mean, not that there have been that many cycles, but I think the meme coin stuff is going to just blow everything. It's just way more entertaining for retail people. It just is.
Yeah.
Like people like that.
I could totally see that happening where this cycle is way more degenerate than the previous. And I feel like it's a good reason to be irresponsibly long.
Yeah. So Vibes in the chat says, if you want meme coin exposure, go for the lower market cap memes. But if not, choose Bonk. I think the barbell strategy is pretty good for memes. Like I think you basically, I think it's an interesting question of like whether Doge does anything anymore. I don't know. Like I would rather own Bonk than Doge. Like Doge, it's kind of like, maybe it's like the Bitcoin of meme coins now.
Dino meme.
It's like Doge is Bitcoin, Shiba's Ethereum, and Bonk is like Sol of the large cap meme coins. But I think if you're gonna bet on meme coin, I don't really. Doge has Elon, I guess, so maybe you want that. But like I feel like it's kind of Shiba that gets squeezed out. Like why Shiba when you can have Bonk? I don't know. I guess people are like, oh, they're making their own layer. Yeah, maybe they are building something. Maybe something comes of that. Maybe you want to buy those three. But I do very much agree that like after that you barbell, you go with the super high market cap winning memes, or you are just like buying like the absolute shitters and trying to do numbers. But like the diddling in the middle. That's one of the reasons I haven't bought like a dog with hat yet. Because like I'm kind of worried. It's like it's a pretty big market cap, but it's not Bonk, and I don't know. I'd rather be YOLOing on like 1 or 2 million kind of things. And
yeah, I agree with you that I feel like this meme coin in particular has like a pretty long runway, and that's what I think about when I think about meme coins. Like how long is a runway? And I don't think dog with hat has that long of a runway.
It is a dog with a hat, though. It's
yeah. I am back on the bald train, though. I didn't buy any, but I'm convinced that bald as a meme is valuable.
It's somebody in the chat shilling bite. I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
Can't keep track of all these things.
It's a good sign, though. I like shillers in the chat.
I don't know. I'm gonna humor the chat and just I'll pull it up and see what it looks like.
Okay, we're checking out Byte.
I can't keep up with all the memes, guys. Like it's like amazing. It's a soul memer.
We like soul meme coins.
Wait, this can't be. This can't be it. I got nothing here. I got 1K liquidity.
Yeah.
You want me? You got me chilling 700 FTV coins? That can't be it.
Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, I got you. You son of a bitch. This is what I get for listening to the chat. Yeah, look at that. Future of France right there.
Steven just got.
This is a good cautionary narrative, though. This is actually what happens to most every single meme coin you buy.
Yeah, the runway it burns bright and hot, and then it flames out.
There's a bit of a survivorship bias in memes.
Of course.
I did buy something that's kind of dumb today. I bought Bonka.
Bonk's girlfriend?
Bonk's girlfriend. I did it. Now I'm buying like beta to Bonk. I'm buying like beta to memes. It's
This is fucking terrible, but I like it. I want this analysis.
yeah. I mean, I'm sort of just using the same technique I trade other stuff with, where I'm just like, okay, this is your higher time frame demand, gives you this move up. You want to buy a retrace into here. Here's your retrace, right? And then when stuff goes higher, you typically get like a double tap. So you got one tap here, you got another tap here. So I bought here, hoping that this is the retracement leg, the double tap that sends us up. So far, so good. I am actually using some of my brain to buy these things. I think if you do want to trade meme coins, like maybe I'll put up a little how-to video at some point. Knowing just basics of market structure.
That would be nice. I think that would be helpful for people. Just a
pretty
FYI,
useful.
by the way, they're saying that you were on the wrong byte. It's like the ETH byte, not the soul.
Look, I typed byte. I don't have this filtered for. I don't have this filter. Oh wait, yeah, I do.
This is a man who wants soul coins only.
Okay.
Okay, I think we got the right
byte.
the right byte.
8.6 FDV already. My God. Yeah, sure it could go up. I don't know. It's just like another dog coin. What's the backstory on this? Show me the backstory.
Does it have a hat or is it bald? We need something to
No.
go on. We need something to go on here.
I don't. I'm so bearish on like ETH memes. Like after trading memes on like Solana, like why the hell would you trade memes?
Why
on
would you do
meme?
meme? Why would you meme coin on ETH?
It's terrible. But like I have been buying the L2 meme coins. Like I do think there is something to buying the meme coins of the L2s. And I know that we talked a little bit about I have NOLA in my portfolio, which looks like it got kind of wrecked last 24 hours. Woo!
This looks like could be origin of the move kind of situation.
Yeah, this could be a little slurpy slurp. I like this. This is a good zone here. This is the zone that gave you the big push, maybe a consolidation there. This is the very bottom though. So if you get a dipper in here,
That's
that
a
could
manipulation, sir.
I don't know about that, but it's a deep enough.
I literally am
Everything is manipulation.
I'm just mirroring whatever you've said over the past 2 years. I'm just
buzzword.
Like, yeah.
Buzzword.
Synergies.
Yeah, no, dude, I think NOLA is like an interesting play. It's kind of like the winning meme coin on Arbitrum right now. Arbitrum has so much TVL, like more than Solana. This thing's like sub 10 million FTV. Like if we go back down here and this thing is like 5 million market cap, like I'll punt some. I don't care. Like that shouldn't be your whole thing. But I think like if you've got like $10,000 of ARB, maybe throw $1,000 into some like ARB memes. I think it's totally fine.
I got a follow up, and it's my follow up is based on Calcium's comment. He's talking about Mega being down 96% in 3 days. My question is not about Mega.
Mega went down 96% in like 1 hour, Calcium.
Okay, so I guess what I'm asking is like, what do you tend to do? Oh God.
Oh God.
Okay, hold on. What do you tend to do when you see a meme coin that you like sprinkled some dust in and it's down like this? I mean, do you ever consolidate back to something else, or do you just consider these like kind of free call options. At
I
this
like
point.
this meme, and I kind of believe in the meme, and the money I have in it doesn't mean anything to me. So I'm not gonna like sell to recoup like $100 or something.
You don't care about the dust once it's sprinkled.
Because if like the amount I have, like if this ends up going up, and then I would have had like $100,000, and I wanted to get $100, and I actually liked the meme, I'm gonna feel like a moron. But yeah, like I would watch this. Like if this high gets taken, like I'm interested.
You're back in.
Like I'm interested. People say, you know, I think you can actually do TA on certain charts. Like even if they're like it depends on how the supply is distributed. You can't do TA on a chart where like one guy controls the whole supply or there's some like shenanigans going on in the coin. But like if you have a coin that's like fully distributed and revoked and like there's like good distribution among the wallets and everything, like it kind of works.
Could have just been a little too early.
Yeah, I mean, some of these things like launch and they wreck people, but then they pick up. Like they do.
Literally, Bonk did that. I mean, it launched in the bear.
Definitely not going to equate this thing with Bonk, but I don't know. Like you can see a world where ETH starts to make a comeback and everybody's like rallying and they're like, "Make Ethereum great again!" Like it's like a 1,000 to 1 shot, right? It's better than 1,000 to 1 shot, but it's like 100 to 1 or 200 to 1 shot. But you can see it. You can see a world, you know. And so I sprinkled some dust. We'll see what happens. Whatever. I'm not concerned. What else? What were you saying before that?
I don't know that we had anything in the chat before that. I don't know. Was there anything else on our agenda that we wanted to go through?
Yeah, I just wanted to just finish up with some of the meme bags I have. So yeah, I got the NOLA for the I still hate saying this because I very much recognize that this could be one of those clips in like 2 years that people play and they're like, "Wow,
what a moron!
You're a trader, huh?"
Yeah, you're a crypto expert, huh?
Let's roll the footage and just me like buying cat coins and shit.
Would you do the honor of looking at any sort of like Cosmos associated charts?
I will end the stream with some Cosmos stuff. I'm just gonna run
just for Rectum.
Yeah. So I think Base is going to be a very obvious play later this year. I think Base is going to be like I think if you miss Coinbase, I think you still can trade Base stuff and do very well. And I kind of view like Base memes as like being long Base culture and being long Coinbase. Like I think Toshi is a good meme. Like we got every chain has a pet. Just fucking deal with it. Don't overthink it. I like Toshi here actually.
Toshi is the like the mascot of the Base chain.
Mm-hmm. Like there's like a legitimate argument for being long here because this was your high that made the low, and then you break the high. There's a market structure shift. There's your zone that made it. There's the tap. So if I get like one more kind of dip there, and then like a good reaction, like could be good.
How about Bald? Did you buy any Bald?
I haven't bought any Bald yet, but I feel like Bald is just it's so fucking obvious. Like we have to buy that. This thing's got 11 million in liquidity. Unbelievable. 16 million market cap with 11 million in liquidity. That's remarkable. Yeah, dude. Wow. I mean, somebody front ran us hard already. Some genius is already up 300% here.
It's already recovered significantly.
But you don't think Bald goes above a 16 million market cap if like Base starts crushing? Like Bald, you could go to like hundreds of millions.
I'm like almost certain it does.
Yeah,
but like just using your frameworks that you've been generous enough to teach us, like you would probably wait for a dip back into that fair value gap.
This chart is such a fucking disaster that like there's not really a good TA on this chart. You're just like Bald, good meme, and you probably just DCA it or just buy your lotto ticket and just walk away. But there's not a whole lot you can do on this chart. It's like a fucking disaster, and this thing had all sorts of
Even with all that liquidity, it doesn't trade anywhere near
no,
clean.
like there's not really anything here. There's no volume. Look at this volume. So this is still just a gigantic shit show. I'm actually not sure how there's so much liquidity. There's something weird here. Like I don't know how price is moving like this. So I gotta look into it a lot more. I just was like, oh, bald. That was a meme. That's still a good meme. That's gonna be a good meme. I should buy that.
Such a good meme.
Yeah.
It's such a good meme. I don't do memes, but I would do bald.
And then the other complete shitter that I took a punt on was the Optimism cat coin, which is Tux, magical Tux. This thing is like a real shitter. This is 1 million market cap. I don't know. It's kind of a decent spot. Probably buy some there. Maybe buy more there if we get it. I don't know. Like there's like a huge disconnect right now between like Optimism the token, and like the market cap and the TVL there, and like the meme culture. So maybe Optimism just never has a meme culture, but I don't know. I think it'll develop one, and I don't know.
And I'm a little reluctant to just do any EVM memes because it's not the time. It's not the time.
It's good. It's going to be the time maybe in like a few weeks. Like
Okay, and when it is the time in a few weeks, it's gonna happen on base.
not necessarily. I don't know. It's TBD. No, this is like an asymmetric bet. You know, this goes to zero most of the time, but I think you make like 100 to 1 on your money a lot.
And that's the Tux.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you probably lose all of your money. I would guess like 80% of the time, but you probably do pretty well in the other 20%.
Yeah.
So just got to think about, I'm going to lose almost all of the time, but the EV might be good.
It's like venture investing.
Sure, this is exactly like venture investing.
I mean, these are all like ventures.
And when you're investing, that's a good. Do you think we actually get to this point where there's like a actual venture firm, or and then not a venture firm, but there's some sort of like prop desk? They're just like people rolling in. They're just pitching memes. They're just like, it's a good meme, man. Like they're just like, look at this cat. Look how cute this kid looks.
Yeah.
The dog.
You got to be like ahead of the
dog has a
zeitgeist.
hat.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's brilliant. Buy it all now.
What was it in the last cycle? It was like foods. Now it's like animals.
Yeah, this is like an upgrade.
But then like
Fucking buying yams.
yams, pancakes.
Yeah, like when I told people what I was doing last cycle, I sounded way more like a fucking moron. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm farming yams and grapes and pizza and buying sushi, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like at least here you could be like, look at this dog.
Yeah.
It's cute, right?
Has a
People are
hat.
like,
Has a hat.
that's cute as fuck. I want to buy that. And it's just like it resonates. So like with the space keeps evolving, the casino keeps evolving, keeps getting upgraded. Everything just iterates so rapidly that we just keep making these upgrades. Like the what we will be doing here in like 3 years, like who knows? It could be just like insane form of gambling that like nobody's even conceived of yet. But hopefully there's more things in the future than that.
The future of finance. The future of finance is just memes.
Hopefully. All right. Let's wrap it with a couple chat questions. Do we have some requests from the chat?
I think what I was seeing in the chat was like you asked for a little narrative on Byte, and people were giving you narrative, and then you.
Oh, what is the narrative?
It's Elon plus AI plus dog.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a lot of those are 3
3 for 3.
Those are 3 good AI, dog, and Elon. What's the connection with Byte? Is that like Elon's dog?
I don't know. Another question. Calcium says, you like ETH or L2 memes or Solana memes?
I don't like ETH memes. It's very hard. Like, it's very hard for me to conceive of how people are going to buy my bags on the ETH memes. The user experience is really shitty, and it's just so expensive. Solana is good too because it has like a condensed sort of community. Like it's like the ETH is very big, but it's also just split. Like it's modularized. Like there's like base people and Arbitrum people and OP, and they're basically ETH people, but like some people are more so you're tapping into the ETH thing, which is very, very big, so it still works. But like Solana is like it's just one thing. It's one ecosystem. Right. All the memes are there. It's all on one chain.
Right. We need it. Like I know that they're into this modularity, and that's for like performance, right? You know, you want increased scalability, but like for usability, we needed to make these things fungible, just as a user, and that's going to be the next hurdle, I imagine.
We need some evolution so that like the NFTs were like, oh, it's like coins with pictures, but they had a lot of problems with them, right? For one thing, having like 10,000 of them creates weird, like then your price goes so high, and then people like top buy and they get dumped on. There's no liquidity, and it's a disaster, right? And now I feel like a dog with hat, right, is sort of like an evolution of the. It's kind of like an NFT. It's about the picture. It's a cool picture. It's a cute picture, but everybody can get in, and it's super fungible, and everybody's in on it. But it's like missing a lot of the like you can't just put. I don't know. Maybe everybody just change their picture on Twitter to the dog. That just everybody just has the same profile picture. Maybe that's what we do. But it seems like there's like another evolutionary leap that we can take there to really take it to the next level.
Okay, why don't you wrap it with your promise to Rectum for doing a little Cosmos based.
Okay,
analysis.
Rectum.
He wants Osmo.
Rectum made a nice $69 donation the other day, so I will pull up a Cosmos chart for you. Osmo. Damn.
God, we've been bearing the lead this whole time.
Oh my God, I actually haven't looked at this thing since like the summer where I was just I've just been laughing at Rectum the whole way down, basically, like, you moron. You want to buy this chart?
Laughing with and at.
And then it just goes whoop.
Yeah.
Just not even just right angle. Wow, that's fascinating. Yeah, I'm not paying attention to the Cosmos ecosystem enough at the moment because my head is already about to explode. So I'm guessing something happened here that wasn't random. Some sort of significant thing.
Yeah, maybe like a fundamental change.
I don't know what it
something.
is. I think Edmund probably knows what it is.
I'm
but
sure he does.
It appears that something has changed here. Wow, that's a nice move, man. I hope you didn't listen to me and you didn't sell all of your bags. That is a smooth 600% in a month. Thank you, crypto.
Well, I think Edmund in our Discord mentioned that he did rotate out of his Cosmos plays into ETH, at least a portion.
Oof.
Because he was like going with the fundamentals.
Pain.
Yeah. never go with the fundamentals in crypto.
That's a hell of a chart. I don't know how you trade that one. You just see green candle and monkey buy it and just hold on for dear life. Yeah, he said he traded half of his Atom into ETH. I'm guessing the Atom ETH chart is not supporting that at the moment. Yeah, Atom's actually been shockingly up versus ETH since October. Yeah, I mean, everything's up versus ETH. ETH is the heaviest object in the known universe. It's like unbelievable. Yeah.
ETH, then tungsten.
Atom up 33% versus ETH right after Rectum sold. After just solid year of down only. Feels bad, man.
But he kept all his Osmo.
He kept all the Osmo though, so congrats on that. Well played. Holy shit, it is 6:45.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to do these short.
Yeah, you want to do 45-minute episodes.
Yeah, I do in theory. The problem is I like do them and I'm just like enjoying myself, and then I don't realize that like 2 hours have gone by.
I'm drinking wine. This is fun. We got a lot of good engagement in the chat. This is fun.
Yeah, I've been enjoying these guys. Thank you, all of you, for showing up tonight. We had a nice little crowd. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing these every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Reminder, follow the new YouTube page. Link in the description. YouTube.com/@ What did I say?
Irresponsibly long pod.
At irresponsibly long pod. Ugh,
So
man.
next week, you imagine we're going to go live on the new channel. Like this is it for this channel. So
Now that you mention it, I might not be back in town in time. Next episode, whether that's next week or the week after. Well, I think I can probably make it. We'll see. I'll let you guys know.
Spend some time with your fam. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah. Get it. I am Ron Burgundy.
I mean, 2 weeks gone is an eternity in crypto, to the point where you might just be really harming our audience. And I think you should think about that as you leave your family over the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you guys listen to this show and you just put all your money in Bonka because some guy sitting in a green chair told you to, like, I'm sorry. I can't help you. We're having fun here. We're trying to make some money, trying to do it in a somewhat moderately intelligent way, but like, this is also very
Personal
fucking
Evolution
stupid.
is in the chat. Personal Evolution did not.
He's here?
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't too
What's
vocal.
up?
Wasn't too vocal today.
Yeah, he was quiet today. Hope you enjoyed the episode, man. I
Yeah.
had fun. So yeah, we'll see how wrecked I am. Next episode. I'm hoping I have a Merry Bonkmas, but
Yeah, I hope ETH breaks the
I don't know. It's
2200.
ETH. I've given up
wall.
on. Yeah, I'm not gonna have a Merry ETH miss, but Bonk can save me. January, please, one time. Well, maybe next time we talk to you guys, there is officially a Bitcoin ETF. There's a chance, and a lot of stuff could go down in the meantime. So strap in.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right,
on the
we're
new
gonna
channel.
call it on that note. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Adios.
And done.